So big news coming out of the real estate world today, let me explain. A large impending lawsuit is currently in litigation with the National Association of Realtors, and there's two sides of the story. On one side, sellers typically put the compensation of the buyer's agent on the MLS beforehand so that the buyer's agent knows what their percentage of compensation is before showing a property. However, if that percentage is lower than the common 2.5%, 3%, if they put 1.5 or 2, some agents won't refer clients to that property because they know they're going to be getting less. Kind of unethical because it is. So on the flip side, if a seller's agent puts a 3% commission for a property and it's a bull market where properties are typically selling themselves and homes are flying off the market, a 3% commission to the buyer's agent who simply opened the door for their client can seem exorbitant compared to the amount of work that listing agents put in to sell a property. So after much deliberation, there has recently been a settlement with the NAR, and I'll break down the terms of the settlement right here. So the first settlement term is to release liability for over 1 million NAR members, particularly any member who had less than $2 billion in residential transactional volume in 2022. The second point is that the NAR has just instituted a new rule prohibiting its agents from putting compensation on the MLS. Offers of compensation, however, can still be negotiated with buyers and sellers and agents off of the MLS. Typically, this is what happens anyways. The most important term is relating to written agreements, and the NAR has been pushing for buyer brokerage agreements to be signed between the buyer's agent and potential buyers before showing properties, just so that there's no discrepancies in the commission at the end of the day. So, moving forward, MLS participants are required to have their buyers sign written agreements to lay out these terms beforehand. And finally, the NAR has agreed to pay $418 million in settlement fees over a 4-year span. All of these changes are supposed to go into effect in mid-July of 2024, this year in a few months. So it'll be super interesting to see how this shakes up the real estate industry. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this?